welcome to Healers Change the World Party today, and the 4 keys to thriving as a healer. These are some incredibly exciting times that we're in right now. And, you know, with everything that's happening worldwide, it's all about the ascension process. You know, it's so interesting with us healers who have been healers for other lifetimes. You know, you may have been persecuted as a healer in past lifetimes, and you may have been killed for your gifts in past lifetimes. It was very tough for us as healers to do our work in the world because there's so many misconceptions about who we are as healers or psychics, etc. And so much rejection of that whole spiritual part of ourselves. But in this lifetime, this is your time to shine, because in this lifetime, you're being supported more than ever before and that will ever be, I think, to express the true part of yourself and who you are as a healer and your gifts, and live from the center of your heart. And, you know, so I want you to take this opportunity to realize how important you are as a healer today. And I want to talk a little bit about that. I want to talk about how important we are as healers, and why are we so important as healers in terms of changing the world or helping shape the new world. And then I want to talk about the 4 keys that it takes to really thrive as a healer. And then I'm going to talk about the things that I'm doing to help you in that journey that you can partake in if you so desire. So stay tuned all the way to the end of the video, because I will actually have some amazing gifts at the end of the video for you today. So let's start by talking a little bit about the importance of healers in helping change the world, or helping shape the new world, if you will. You know, some of you may or may not realize, depending on where you are in this journey, that we create our own reality. And how we create our reality is with the vibration that we carry, okay? And it's not that as healers we bring a certain vibration to the world. We may, but we may not also be in quite the right vibration yet. But here's the power that we have as healers, and that is to change the vibration we carry and to help others change the vibration they're carrying. Because if we can change our vibration, we can in turn change our reality, because we create our reality with our vibration. In other words, what we put out as a frequency, that's what the world and other people respond to. And when we change that frequency that we're putting out, then we get a different response. We get a different interaction with the world, and we experience or have different experiences with the world, with the people around us, as a result of the frequency. And that is what we have as a power as healers, is to change the vibration, change our vibration. And if you train correctly, if you trained right, if you trained how to do that, you'll know how to do that, and you'll be able to basically change not just individual reality, but the collective reality. Because as we change individual realities for each person, and the more people we help change their reality, their vibration, the more we're contributing to the overall collective reality of how we all live. And that, my friends, is the power of the healer, because we are at present time in a spiritual war. You know, call it a war between good and evil, between 3D and 5D, or bad, good, and ugly, you know. But we are in a spiritual war between freedom and being oppressed, oppression, right? And it's a war that we will only win from the inside out. It's a war that we cannot win with a sword in hand, but we can win with the love in our hearts and with the skill in how to change vibration, how to change our frequency and our vibration. And so that is your power, my friends, as healers, if you train correctly in terms of how to do that. So now to the 4 keys that help us thrive as healers, that are musts. You know, and I've been through this journey, and so I gave it significant thought as to what does it take, you know, to thrive as a healer. I've been doing this for 16 years now, been on this journey. I've been also a healer in past lifetimes. And I've had an incredible journey around my spirit self, I guess, as a healer, and bringing myself out into the forefront. So I want to share, what I'm sharing with you is from my own experience, from my own wisdom and understanding of what it takes to really thrive as a healer and to make it as a healer. So that number 1 key is mentorship and guidance. You've got to have a mentor, you've got to have some guidance, especially in the beginning. You know, even though throughout my entire journey, I've, for the most part, followed the guidance of my higher self. But initially, I had to get there. I had to get to that point of being able to do that. In my initial stages of my journey, I worked with a shaman, for example, for, you know, 8 months. And it was the most important thing I'd done, because he directed me into the right direction, if you will. I would have never known to look there or known to go there. And he also helped me reconnect with the spiritual world through certain teachings he did. You know, he taught me certain things. And so it was the most important aspect of my journey, is working with the shaman for about 8 months. You know, it cost me like $125 an hour with him. And I saw him on a pretty regular basis for about 8 months. And it's not money that I would have readily spent, you know, but I saw the importance, I felt the importance of this journey that I had to make. And so I kind of felt I needed to do that. I needed to invest in myself, and I did. And I would have never, ever discovered the things that I discovered and connected with myself in such a way that I connected with myself working with this shaman. So that was my very initial mentorship and guidance. And then I spent about 2 years with a mentor, a very wise soul, who throughout taught me different things about the spiritual field. And I've gained that understanding by her teaching, by my observation, and so forth. So there was a certain time of development for me. And then, you know, I've developed throughout, and then I started trusting my higher self and started to really communicate with my higher self and started doing healings and started healing others and so forth and so forth. So the number 1 key, I would say, that to thrive as a healer, you've got to have some mentorship and guidance, okay? Because the spiritual industry is so huge, and so it's such a variety of different people and different concepts and different ideas, you can get very easily lost in it, let's say. So anyway, that's number one key. Also, as a mentor, or if you have a mentor, a mentor can see your blind spots. They're called blind spots because you can't see them, but a mentor can see them, okay? And so they can guide you better because they see your blind spots, okay? They can point them out to you. And so a mentor can do so many things. And there's, we sometimes don't know what we don't know. How do you know to learn something if you don't know it even exists, right? Well, a mentor that's been there and done that, been on that journey, can teach you those things that you don't know. Of course, if you are pretending to know it all because you've been born as a healer, then you're just closing your doors to learning. And you need to learn in this lifetime, no matter if you've been a healer in other lifetimes, because I've been healer in many other lifetimes. I still had to learn certain concepts, certain skills in this lifetime. I had to bring it into my awareness. I had to think about it. I had to learn it. I had to, but some of the things came easy to me, some of the concepts, as I reconnected with them through the learning process. Okay, so those are key aspects to having a mentor and having some guidance in order to succeed and thrive as a healer. Key number 2, personal transformation, growth, and healing. That is so important. Throughout the 16 years that I've been practicing healing in this lifetime, I've been healing throughout myself and growing constantly. Even recently, as I'm shifting how I am, showing up in the world, instead of being just doing one-on-ones right now, I'm showing up in the world in terms of wanting to work with groups and teaching more than, the one-on-one type healings that I've done. It required me to heal myself when it came to being a leader, okay? Because I've had experiences that, were painful around leadership in the past, in my past lifetimes, and I had to heal that because that presented direct blocks in my way. And that's the thing about personal transformation, healing, and growth, is that we have experienced pain in many past lifetimes around our gifts, around our leadership. And, as a result, now we have fears and we procrastinate. And we can't quite get out of the spiritual closet because of that. And so personal transformation and healing and growth is absolutely paramount to thriving as a healer. You have to keep working on yourself, to eliminate the fears, the roadblocks in your way, and to grow. Your business will never outgrow you. You're going to have to grow into your business. And to the degree that, for example, you're not attracting, enough clients or enough people, that's something that may require some healing and transformation on your part so that you can actually attract those people, okay? So that's another very important key. So key number 3 is developing a business or success mindset for healers. And it's not the same as your conventional mindset or conventional business mindset, because healers, as a healer, you're really developing a movement rather than a conventional business. And so the big difference is that a business is driven by profits, but your business as a healer is driven by or backed by a divine cause that's much greater than yourself. And so it can't just be about the money. In fact, as a healer, because we're moving into the high vibrations, money is becoming less and less important, okay? There's other things, the spirituality of things that it's becoming more important in the high vibrations. Money importance is material is more important in the low vibrations of 3D. And so, and that's not to say that you have, to say that you have to do this work for free. No, I'm not saying that at all. In fact, you can make some very good money with this kind of work, and you should, because there has to be a proper exchange for the value. Okay, that is another spiritual rule that, you know, if you don't have proper exchange, then people will not benefit from your work. So, you know, you can make a really decent lifestyle. I mean, you may not become a billionaire, but you should be able to create a very decent lifestyle with this kind of work if you structure it correctly. Of course, you have to develop that business mindset. Now, some of it may be conventional business, but other things may not be, like the fact that it's backed by, you know, your divine cause, rather than just making simply a profit for the sake of making a living. And so we have to learn these things. And so really the key is to be learning how to, you know, trust that higher part of yourself, because you're going to have to follow its guidance, because what else do you follow? In the spiritual world, as a healer, you've got to follow the higher self guidance, because your higher self will guide you in the right direction, into the right growth, into learning the right things, etc., etc. It has done that for me. You know, everything that I've been through in my 16 years of journey has been designed for me learning and growing. And some of it's been really painful. But I also recognize the importance of it and how I've come out on the other side, and the understanding and the wisdom I've gained through it all that I can now pass on to you. So key number 3 is developing that success and business mindset, but specifically for healers. And then key number 4 is get proficient in the art of and science of healing, because some part of the healing process is scientific. You know, there's just certain things that work a certain way, okay? Like how we process pain, for example, and what happens if we don't process pain, for example. You know, they're very scientific, okay? There is no ifs and buts about it. And then there's the art to healing, which requires your intuition. And it's a combination of your intuition and your wisdom of knowing, you know, how to heal something. And combine that, and then you have that art and science of healing. And it requires, you know, sometimes we have to learn a modality, the skill, you know, the tool set of how to heal. But I find that, you know, it's not enough to just have a tool set or a skill or a modality that you heal with. I mean, I've met one woman one time who, you know, had a great modality, learned a great modality. It was, she used hypnosis for healing. And, you know, Dolores Cannon, for many years, she's very popular in the healing industry. She used hypnosis. However, this woman asked me, you know, how do I heal somebody that, say, for example, a woman that can't conceive, that can't get pregnant. So she has a modality, but she doesn't know how to heal, because she doesn't have the underlying wisdom as to what it actually takes to heal certain something. Because we have to develop wisdom around, you know, what causes certain dis-ease or certain dysfunction in our lives, so that you have some idea as to how to apply your healing modality to be able to resolve this particular problem. So I find that the wisdom around actually healing is very critical. You know, like, for example, as a healer, you may have learned how to do Reiki, but do you know how to heal somebody's allergy to something? Do you understand allergies? Do you understand what causes allergies? Do you understand what to heal as an allergy? Or if somebody has a chronic pain somewhere, do you know how to heal that? Where does it come from? You know, is it physically caused or is it spiritually caused? You know, I had hip pain in my hip for many years now. And it turns out it wasn't spiritually caused at all. It was actually very physically caused through, I was poisoned with arsenic, drinking well water. So I can do all the spiritual stuff on my hip that I want, and I'm not going to change a thing, okay? So do you know this kind of stuff as a healer? You know, you may have to do some learning, get proficient in the art and science of healing, basically. And so those are the 4 keys that I wanted to share with you that are completely imperative, if you will, to thriving as a healer, okay? So it's mentorship and guidance and personal transformation and healing, developing that business mindset for healers, and then getting proficient in the art and science of healing and learning things. And so I hope this is helpful. Now, here's the beautiful part. Throughout my years, 16 years of healing and being in the healing practice, I've developed so much wisdom, including the kind of wisdom that deals with your physical stuff, like the arsenic poisoning and my hip pain, right? On the other hand, on the contrary, I have healed somebody's hip whose hip pain was actually spiritually caused. I've done that as well. So, you know, hip pain can be caused spiritually and it can be caused physically as well, right? How do you know which is what? So I've done both, you know, and also observed both avenues in terms of how to heal something. And so over the 16 years, I've collected all this amazing wisdom through my own, if you will, physical health issues. You know, I've had allergy problems and I completely cured them. You know, I've had hip pain and I've cured that pain. I'm still healing my hip though from it as an aftermath, but you know, I've healed so many different things. I've healed different chronic pains for people, you know, or chronic infections like chronic UTIs. You know, I've eliminated the fear and built the self-confidence through healing, all that stuff. I know how to do all of that. I've witnessed some amazing miracles with people, changing situations. You know, here's one about the vibration aspect. I wanted to give you an example that I haven't in the beginning of this video, but one amazing example of how to change, how the vibration changes and how it changes reality is, I had a client once, a woman who came to me with different issues. And then she also told me that her boyfriend, live-in boyfriend for 20 years, was belittling her all the time. And so we did a few healings on her, like 3 or 4 healings. And then she proceeded to tell me that her boyfriend stopped belittling her. And, you know, it was, I never talked to the guy. I mean, I've never met him, right? She hasn't talked to him about this, or there was no healing done on him, right? I just simply was working with her and we did some healings on her. And so we shifted her vibration, right? And so as we shifted her vibration, she was putting out different frequency. All of a sudden, the boyfriend responded with a different response, and that is to no longer belittle her. And this is how we change reality, and through changing vibration. I've gotten many, many examples like that. For example, had another one that was amazingly profound. Again, a client, a female that came to me. We've done quite a bit of healings with her. Her husband or her ex-husband came back into her life saying he wanted to move into the state that she was in and wanted to stay with her for a couple of weeks. And so she said yes on the count that he told her he quit drinking because during their marriage, he was quite a bit an alcoholic and caused her lots of pain. And so she was very afraid of that. But he told her he had quit. And so she said, yes, you can come stay with me for a bit until you get on your own feet. So he did. Well, 2 weeks into his stay with her, he starts drinking, right? She's freaking out at that point. She's like, oh my God, I can't have that. I gotta give him ultimatums and all this stuff. He can't, there's no way. Well, she had experienced a lot of pain in their marriage as a result of, being around his alcoholism. And so it really freaked her out when he started drinking. Well, I said, before you make any decisions, why don't we do some healings? So we did. We healed her marriage and all the pain she experienced around, having experienced basically drinking, his drinking and all the violence that came with it and so forth. Well, then we stumbled onto a lifetime she had as actually an alcoholic herself. And so we healed that. And you know what? When we healed that, guess what he did? That's right. He quit drinking. And they've been together ever since. And he hasn't picked up a drink since. Not that I know of anyway. It's been years. It's been years. And so it's absolutely phenomenal, miraculous. But that's how we can change, again, reality by changing vibration. We never talked to him. We never healed him. It was all her. It was her vibration we changed. And, as a result, he just changed how he responded to her. Now, it may not happen exactly the same way in every case because it depends on how much he was mirroring her versus how much of his own stuff he was actually carrying. But nonetheless, in her case, he completely quit. And they've been together ever since, happily ever after. So this is how powerful we are as healers, or can be, if we acquire the right skills on how to do that. And I venture to say that it is important that you acquire the proper skill and learn the right stuff in terms of how to actually heal somebody. So anyway, with that said, I have all this wisdom I want to share with you guys. And so in order to do that, I have devised a system that I call the 12-month alchemy for healers. And it's a 12-month system in which you can get the mentorship you need and the guidance and the support and validation through an interactive live mastermind support group that meets on a regular basis, as well as you can get the personal transformation and healing and growth through guided healing meditations that you can do on yourself, all from the comfort of your home, mind you, from anywhere in the world, as long as you have access to the internet, okay? And, where you can learn through the mastermind group, things like the business mindset for healers, okay, where you can ask the questions you need in order to move forward in your journey, where you can get the validation and the support you need, because initially we are feeling vulnerable in our way of being healers. And, we got to grow, we got to be able to create that self-confidence. And initially we need that confirmation and the validation and the support. So you'll have all that, as well as I'm going to share with you through information videos all that I learned about how to, for example, heal allergies, what makes allergies tick, right? Or how to heal pain, or how to, make supplements energetic with water, okay? This is an amazing thing you can do, all right? Like, for example, in my recent personal journey around my physical stuff, which has had a lot to do with being poisoned. And I have gotten poisoned by some radioactive waste, and it damaged my pancreas. And I've had a lot of difficulty with my pancreas. And one of the things that happens when you're having pancreatic inflammations is that all of a sudden you are lacking in certain enzymes, or, what's been happening to me is all of a sudden my phosphorus levels would be falling all the time. But so what if you could create a specific enzyme you can't even get, say, on the market, but you could create it with water and consume it in that way, and it helping you to increase the level of enzymes that you need to kind of ease the process while you're experiencing this, stuff with the pancreas, for example. So that's the kind of stuff I've learned through spiritual guidance on my journey as to how to do that. I'm, going to pass on, and so much more into how to muscle test, how to communicate with your higher self, how to communicate with your body, how to identify, is it coming from the physical aspect? Is it coming from the spiritual aspect? All these amazing things I'll be covering, passing on to you in this system, in this alchemy, 12-month alchemy, to you basically through information videos. And like I say, you'll have that also, that live interaction through the mastermind group meetings. So this is my grand opening, if you will, for you as healers to be supported if you want to be supported in your journey and helping you thrive as a healer, because I have a ton of wisdom to share with you and that I know you need on your path. And I'm trying to put that out there for you so that you can, thrive and as a healer and live that fulfilling life. There's nothing more fulfilling than living from what gives you so much pleasure, in helping someone in the world, helping change the world, living for a bigger purpose than yourself, and, thriving at it. Okay. So this is your opportunity. And all of this, 12 months, okay, of all of what I just spoke about, okay, it's going to cost less than what normally 10 healing sessions would cost with me, okay, less than that, okay. So it's for a very incredibly reasonable cost and investment for yourself, or it's around $100 a month, basically, depending on how you pay for it. You can pay for it in full, or you can pay for it by installments, monthly installments. And, if, you would do this, okay, if it didn't cost anything, and you don't do this because it's $100 a month, it's just an excuse, because anybody can afford $100 a month. It's less than basically one healing session with me. Okay, one healing session with me costs $150. And so for less than one healing session with me, you can basically gain unlimited amounts of healings through the system, through the guided healing meditation, and have my input, be able to, have my interact with me and ask questions and so forth. So it's of incredible value, absolutely incredible value. And I have some amazing gifts for you today, which is a discount. And I'm going to see if I can share this up here with you. And let me see if I can, here we go. So basically, to get to be part of this system, the 12-month alchemy for healers, all you have to do is type in jointheascensiontribe.com, and there's a bunch of information about it you can read about. If you need to ask questions, you can always schedule a 20-minute free consultation with me, and we can talk a little bit more about the system if you'd like. But today's gift for you is the first 10 people who sign up between February 11th and February 20th will be able to take advantage of these discounts, these coupons I post here. One is Alchem 01, and you get 35% off on the first installment in the installment option. That's if you select the monthly installments, or if you want to pay for the full year, you get the Alchem 02, which you get 10% off on the full payment for the full year. All right, the first 10 people who basically sign up between now and February 20th, after that, those coupons will expire. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this presentation. I hope it makes sense for you. I hope you really take advantage of it, because there's no time like this time right now. And the opportunity for you to come out and actually live those fulfilling lives as a healer have a certain window, okay, of opportunity here open that's not going to be always open, okay? I think it's going to close at some point, and we'll be basically done with where you are, including, you know, Dolores Ken mentioned something very interesting. I've listened to her quite a bit, is that at some point we'll be cut off where we're just not going to be able to keep up with the transformation that we need to make in order to rise into 5D. And once we can't keep up with it, that what we haven't done enough in advance, then the doors will also close on us on being able to access the 5th dimension. That's what she said. I believe that's probably going to be true. And so I hope you take advantage of it, because there's no time like right now. There's a reason why I'm here, why I'm doing this. There's the reason why you are here. There is a reason that your soul is calling for you to be helping. I have a system here for you where, imagine it to be like a cocoon where you can incubate and where you can be nurtured and transform and heal and learn to be able to emerge as a leader, as a healer, and be able to change lives out there. This is what I'm offering you. So I hope you take advantage of it. And I love you guys, and I wish you all the best. And hopefully we'll be seeing more of each other. And I want to say bye for now.